finna stand tall in it.
Yes, YouTube, we're going to kick off our very, very busy 3 days stock-wise with our first Yeezy deal. You can see here we've got a few cages, over 500 pairs of Yeezy boots that have landed into the warehouse for drop shipping. We're then going to go and pick up an off-white deal, heading towards London, and we're also going to do a little outlet trip too, before we have a perfume deal, before we have our P6000s drop. So busy. We're going to keep you in the loop. You're going to follow us to see exactly how we're sourcing these deals, the business-to-business transactions we're doing, even the process of booking in this amount of stock and the cash flow and everything. It's pretty difficult. So yeah, let's kick off this YouTube video today and a trip to London. So today's deal is an off-white deal. Basically, we want to test out a new supplier. These lads basically have been getting some big drops of off-white. Brand new with tags, some without tags, some with faults, and we're just going to go and put a bit of a budget into it. Even if it's like 10, 20,000, our members can get a feel for it, and then we've been told there's over £1 million worth of stock that we can recurrently get. So today we're going to meet next time we just get them to ship it over, but we're going to go meet him, speak to him, see a bit about the deals, maybe get some content of the whole bulk of it, and then just start churning some of the stock out really. It's exciting. Whilst we're down there, we're going to go and visit an outlet too. But yeah, this is just from business networking, by the way. This is not a supply chain that I've ever had. Basically, people have seen that I do the big deals. I've got a lot of clients that I sell to, and like, we get this stock. We believe you do pretty well at these prices. What can you do? And then obviously, I'll always do a little bit of negotiation. I'll speak to them. I'll say what budget I can work with. And yeah, so a lot of time people think I've got a magic trick to be able to do what I do. I don't. I have some suppliers which are really good that I've had for years and years. But sometimes I'm just buying deals which pop up which are really good pricing, but obviously using a bit of the budget which I've got available to be able to get the better deals and the pricing. So yeah, it's exciting. Long trip from Manchester. It's probably like over 3 hour drive. Got some more driving in between. I had to go to the warehouse, so it's probably a good 8 hours of driving today. But that is part of the hustle sometimes, people, and you've got to be willing to dig in. Even me, I could probably be sat in fucking Spain or Dubai chilling, but whilst you're in that growing stage, you have to go and do these things. You have to go and meet people, and yeah, I'm here to showcase it. So 3 hours later, we've arrived, and it's probably the most beautiful business location I've ever seen. It's fucking picturesque. There's sheep, there's fucking everything. This is gorgeous. Like, this is already making me want to buy the deal because it says these kids are like straight. Yeah, I just realised we actually need to think about the way I want to negotiate this. But yeah, this is a gorgeous area. So driving towards the units now. All right, YouTube, you can probably see in the background, this is a pretty impressive facility. I'm actually impressed by the operation. Some really good stock as well. So I'm going to actually go through the aisles and show a few snippets. There was a lot more t-shirts, however, Mr. Plug's come and cashed them all out. And the box is there. Now what's going to happen is that's going to be offered to our members who access it at really good rates. They can drop ship it from our warehouse, so they can buy it in bulk to make profit. However, they've actually got a lot more stock than that. So loads of joggers, jumpers, more individual bits, and more. So I've been having a conversation with them. I'm going to try and get some of this stock offered, more of it, to our BT members and work closely alongside the supplier. If I'm honest, one of the most impressive things which I've seen was some of this represent stock. Jumpers at really good rates. I'm not going to say the exact costings yet, but really good rates. And it's stock which I've never actually worked with. So we believe there's going to be some really good profit for our individual members to work with. Again, more t-shirts, more jumpers, Palm Angels tees, everything. Now, when you're working with this type of volume, it gives you the power of buy-in. So it basically means, okay, you want to go to supply with £1,000. What they're going to do is tell you to fuck off. However, if you go to supply with 100,000, you can clear out this amount of stock. It means you get really good rates. And that's why I like working with other businesses like ourselves who are buying the bulk, because you can get the good prices. We can come in with a budget, maybe take a quarter of the stock and do a good deal. And that's kind of the conversation we've been doing here. We've managed to get in some really good stocks. You see here, this is the Palm Angels tees, represent tees and everything. Some of this stock's going to go into my main warehouse, which is pretty similar sizing to this. Some of the stock in the other one. See there, there's loads of sneakers as well, which we've not actually touched or tapped onto today. But yeah, really impressive facility. I think more, not even just this deal, but the importance is we're going to have a nice long-term relationship working alongside these boys. So yeah, good day. It's a nice little up as well. Yeah, we're going to go to a different location next, and we're going to snip it into there. Wagwan people, we're in Manchester and we're doing some big stock deals today. However, what the cameraman does not know is that currently there is no space for him to get in the car. So we've been buying over £50,000 of stock. If you come round, I'll show you the boot. This is the problem with having an A35. So we need to figure out where we're going to put Tom. But now I've got an idea. We're either going to break down one of the boxes, put them around, or I think, to be honest, we could maybe fit the one on front on top of this here. Yeah, I need a van really, but I just don't want to do, like, we have a team who usually do this, but for you guys, today I'm doing content, which is why I'm doing this myself, just to show you the back end of what's really like getting these deals. Who says reselling's fun? It makes good money, but it's not fun. Like, no. So everyone like talks about buying houses or flats and stuff, and I'm gonna be honest with you, in the back of that car is a flat. Right, but if I was to buy a flat and I wanted to make an investment out of it and go and sell it, or even do it up and sell it, we're talking a 6 month to 1 year process. Now the reason I actually love reselling so much is I've bought a flat in the back of my car here, and I'm going to aim to turn it over within a 1 week period. No headaches, no solicitors, nothing, just straight profit, and then obviously do your tax calculation after. Pretty easy. So that's the reason why I always say to people, when you first start a business and you have time to influence, you have time to put in, go and work with stuff like this, where you put in the hustle, you take better photos, you go and speak to people, and it physically affects your results. So yeah, we've got an apartment in the back. It'd be in a very cheap area, maybe an apartment in Skegness, not a Manchester one. But yeah, we're going to go and flip this apartment for some profit later. All this stock, by the way, is Off-White, Palm Angels. That stuff in there is Nike. So it's quite high ticket stuff, which sometimes we work with lower tickets. Sometimes we're trying to veer into higher ticket because the profit per unit is better. Like, people want to spend the time to make £50, £60 per item. And we have to get deals like this to do so. Of course, that is pretty cash flow intense. But that's my problem to worry about. And you guys can drop ship, or you can buy little bulk, whatever, which is great. We take away the cash flow issue from you and your business, because anyone who has actually ran a business before understands the daunt around that word of cash flow. It is so hard to manage, especially when you're kind of doing the volume that we're doing of buying, or even like bulk distribution type of stuff. So yeah, we'll skip over to the warehouse, but I need a cup of tea, so I'm going to go Mackey's. I don't eat Mackey's food because that's dog shit. We can get a cup of tea from Mackey's and go from there. Okay, so as much fun as it is just buying stock, there's actually a lot more associated with it. So for us to be able to drop ship the products, it means it has to be booked into the warehouse, which means we need SKUs, it's got to go into the locations, so when people make orders, we can just ship it direct. What that basically means is that we need to do a little bit of a breakdown of the stock and give the warehouse all the information. So right now we're going through the Yeezys and we're sending photos of the ID of each one to the back end of the team, so then they can start doing the listings on the website with the correct photographs to make sure everything's 100% accurate. This is looked over because it's actually key that accuracy is right. If we go and put the wrong photo on there, someone sells that to a customer, we ship it and it's incorrect, that's our fault. So we make sure that we have like 100% accuracy in anything that's booked into here. If you're buying mixed cages deals, it's completely different. So what I need to do is use the Yeezy 450s that we just landed on. You can see we've got actually fucking hundreds of these units, and the 500 coming as well. Is I need to get photos and send it over to the team so they can make listings on the Shopify site. These we paid £23 a unit on. I never actually discussed what I paid, but our members got offered the same deal at 25. I was only putting £2 a unit on in bulk. When we do dropship, we'll probably put £10 a unit on for ourselves just to cover operational expense, my cash flow, everything. And then our members can sell these for upwards of 70 to 80 to the right consumer, okay? They're a little bit funky, they're a little bit cool, but ultimately it's what sells, and we're getting these at 80% off. You're still going to be selling at 60% off. You can make profit selling this product. It's not about what you would wear personally. And that's actually a bit of a key aspect. So yeah, it's got take a little photo, just a quick one for the warehouse to be able to do. So I take that pic, I literally just put the ID in the chat saying what it is. So we've got that as ID 9446. 9446. And then the boys can work through it. That photo's actually come out a little bit blurry somehow, so I need to take that again. Boom. That goes into the warehouse chat. So then we've got another full list. ID 1963 1946. Yeezy Quantums, which are over down there, and we'll sort that after. Cool. Okay, great. Exact same thing again. So these are Yeezy Boosts, but these are Quantums. Again, we paid £23 unit on these. This is not good stock, right? In terms of like the model, it's not the most popular model. However, can you double up your money on that? The answer is yeah. People's niches are different. Just because you wouldn't wear something, like I personally wouldn't wear these, does not mean that other people wear it. In the US market, they're huge. They're a basketball style shoe. You do see the actual demand. If you like playing basketball, they do actually suit that look. Personally, I wear Asics, I wear products like that, not for me. Would I make money on it? 100%. Generally, you can triple up your money on this type of stock, which is why we buy it in. Not everything that we buy is what I would personally wear. There's been loads of stuff which has performed so well for me as a business without me actually liking the product. And that's a thing that I always try and drill into people is don't just sell what you like, sell what makes money. So we have done working through the stocks. We've got a list of all the represent, which is good because we're going to do this as mixed bundles only, so it's a bit different to our usual stock. In here is all of the Palm Angels, all the Off-White stock, which again, really good stuff. And then the warehouse going to book that in and we can start pushing it out. So probably the best thing to do is to get out of the way, leave them to do it. We've filmed our ad sets, we've had a good day, so yeah, next is go do some operational bits, start pushing out all this stock whilst it's getting all booked in the range, and then find the next deal. Just because you've had a deal come in does not mean that more stuff doesn't have to come. I actually need to go and get £6 cash out for one of our suppliers now. Yeah, let's skip to the next location.
Call her again, I'm in love with your friend. We be doing that, you had the evidence. That you ready to ride. I fuck with my chick and put your body to the side. Go against the gang, you be ready to hide.
Jay, what are you giving it?
10, every time. Never a false. Never want your lunch to be too complex. Right. I'm never going gaucho or nothing crazy for lunch. Simple lunch, clean, not too much like fat or grease, because then you're tired for the rest of the day. A good clean lunch sets you up for a productive afternoon. That's actually always been a thing for me. I'll never eat too much at lunch. If I have a KFC fucking boneless banquet at lunch, I'm napping at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. If I just have a nice clean dinner, I'm active, I'm making money. So actually, this is free. In fact, because I'll make more money by having this type of lunch, they're paying me to eat it. So I'm in the city centre, park my car there, I just watch what people are doing. When they walk past, what conversations they're having. I'm a bit fucking weirdo. It's just intriguing to look at someone like, what's your life story? Like, what's going on there? No idea, I don't want to look into that much. It's just fun, innit? Do you know what I mean? Okay, YouTube, we're back. I'm going to do some short form content in the city today. However, the cameraman just noticed something in my bag, which he was like, what is that? So what I'm going to do, we've got 2 minutes, 120 seconds. I'm going to show you how quick we can do this. This is part of the talents. I'm not just a reseller, I know how to do all this. So there you go. It's fully muddled. Cameraman, will you please confirm? Muddled. Fully muddled, okay. Confirmed. Next 2 minutes, I'm going to talk you through how you do it as well. So first thing you need to do is you need to make a white cross on the top side. So we're going to start the white cross there. Flip that around, blue. Blue comes round, corner cross, blue, cross, red, flip round. See, this Rubik's isn't as fast as it used to be before because I let the kids in Nigeria play with it. So it's yeah, it's not the best quality compared to what it used to be. Okay, white cross is complete. What we're then doing is a couple quick little algorithms just to put the corners in the correct place. Algorithm 1 complete. Algorithm 2 complete. Where's it got a blue and orange there? Algorithm 3 complete. Algorithm 4 complete. Then we have algorithm, where are you? 5. Then you got a white bottom, okay? What we're then going to do is you need to just match the round sides. So 1, 2, 3. All it's just like an up, down. This took me 13 hours when I first did it, but now I can do it in, in the right circumstance, maybe a couple of minutes. I don't know if I'm calling this the right circumstance. We're outside and we're under pressure. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then we've got all the greens around done. We've got a right cross on the top, so then we need to make a cross on the top. Boom, match, match, matches. Then it's up, down, side, cross, up, down, down, cross. Then that's all matching on the green side. All we're then doing is getting the corners into the correct place, which is side, cross, side. Ooh, nearly wrong. Cross, side, down, flip that round. Okay, you need to do it one more time, side, up, side, down, okay, that's all the right things. Then just fix the corners up and we are complete.
Fucking hell, bang on.
2-minute Rubik's. What was it, 2 minutes? That was slow for me. You see, lads, we're not just resellers out here. I always said, one thing I've always said to people is, life will go really fast if you just only build a routine. So if you go up, you go brush your teeth, do a cup of tea, it just, like, everything that you know how to do really quickly just goes really fast. But if you're always trying to learn something, it slows things down. So if I went and told you to go and brush your teeth with your left hand in the morning, it'd take like probably 3-4 minutes to do the same motion. You think about it because it's not just like you subconscious. So the same thing I've always said to myself, like, I always want to learn something, even apart from my work. I understand my work, I've built routines now, but whether it's like Rubik's Cube or Spanish or piano, just little things you've got to keep learning, just keep your brain evolving and ticking. And I get it's a little bit of a weird thing, but like, if you're building too much routine of things that seem too easy, your life will just skip, it'll fly by. And it's always an interesting little thing if someone sees you've got a Rubik's Cube, like, oh shit, can you do that? And they're not actually that difficult. It might look difficult, but once you know it, it's like, it's second nature, really. Same thing like chess. So anything that's like patterns, algorithms, I actually really, just my mind gets it. It's like chess is just like, it's just super easy for me. We know the stuff that gets the best views is really when you're in the street, you're interviewing people. So I want to ask 2 main questions, like, how much is your outfit? So you see someone's outfit, break it down, it might be Loro Piana, it might be Dior. Let's see how much they're paying. Because I also want to do a bit of a comparison of if there's in our B2B group, how much would they be paying? Which I think that's a smart concept. And also, where's your outfit from? You know, if it's like a low-key streetwear brand, I almost want to know where your outfit is from. So yeah, we're going to do them 2 concepts in town today. Going to just get some short form stuff. We've got the meta glasses, so almost some POV content. Maybe strategize some of that. Obviously it's bank hall, and I get sometimes when you run your business a little bit annoying you're working when everyone else is off, but these are actually days where the town is probably the busiest and where you get the competitive advantage when you're running your own biz and stuff. So I actually don't mind doing that, because when it comes to tomorrow, like, who's going to be winning, it's probably me. So yeah, let's go and embarrass ourselves in the city centre, but more likely get 1 million views, so calm. Hot spinning, there's like too many. Right, we're in Manchester City Centre and we are rating people's outfits. So we're just going to find out how expensive the outfits are. If you like this type of content, drop us a follow below. It's like do a little break, give us a little breakdown of what it is. Oh, look at this guy, that's a swaggy guy. Come, you got to get a breakdown of him. It's a pretty cool outfit. Come on, a little breakdown of the fit. We've seen the Travis's on. Would you want me a quick vid? We've seen the Sloan Mertra collab. Can we get a zoom in on them? That is probably one of the hottest pairs of New Balance I've ever seen. What are they called again?
They're Action Bronson's Baklava. Like, right. It's like his inline, like he's done like a collaboration with New Balance.
He's spinning around, but the shoe ID is a triple black P6000s. We actually stock in our warehouse. Clearly, they are very versatile. Zach Kid is doing some pretty crazy shit in them. So I'm not a fan of Cortez at all.
Yeah, I think, well.
So there's always a little bit of math or strategy around what we're doing with content. So obviously we're filming people's outfits, so we stay less around areas like Primark or where the cheaper brands are, and we head more towards like where Selfridges and like Fraser or Flannels is, because then we're more likely to get better outfits and better views. So I mean, I always say to people, when you're doing content, just like jump into it, make sure you go and do it. But no, like, do you have a little bit of a plan? I'm not saying to strategically make sure you're here and ask set questions, but we'll be like, right, we're going to head to the Arndale where there's bigger footfall. We're going to head to the front of the island where Selfridge is, because in our footfall is likely to be better outfits. And then we've already got a few preset questions when you go with the flow a little bit too much. If your videos don't feel like you're having a conversation, it almost feels a little bit robotic and it's boring. And if you're not prepared at all, you kind of just there sat stuttering and not, especially if it's your first time doing it. When I first did it, I was not very good at it, but now I'm a lot better because I make it feel like it's a conversation. If I stutter, if I do anything wrong, I just carry on with it. I think that's a really important thing to do when you're doing like any YouTube content or stuff like that, to be honest. Free Krispy Kreme. Yes, please. Just literally hit around the corner, just literally waiting to pop round and fucking snatch a whole fucking joint. Just like unsurprisingly walk around like, oh, they for free. She loaded the tray. Come on. Oh, are they testers?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hand over. So you know when you was like 17, right, and like everyone started passing the test, what was the first thing that you lot would do? So for us, like there's one lad who passed his test right away, and we used to like, suddenly he was the most popular person there was. We give him like £5 petrol money and we drive somewhere called Kerber Edge just for a car meet, and generally it would just be driving hours and hours just to do football. And I can't believe we used to spend my time doing that. Like, was there somewhere that were you a Tesco car park meet, or like what did all your friends do?
Unfortunately, I did have a Corsa.
Right.
So
I had a Polo.
Bit of a bad rep for hanging around McDonald's
with underage women.
Yeah.
You weren't picking 15-year-olds up, were you?
Thankfully not, no. Like if you know Swindon, and you know that there's not really a lot of around.
Swindon? Is that where you're based near?
Yeah.
Right.
Swindon. So there's like fuck all.
Swindon town was your local meet-up.
That's like where, yeah. That's
mine was Chesterfield. So Chesterfield car park or Kerber Edge, Kerber Edge, to be fair, is beautiful. Like we was quite smart to pick that as a use because it's like Peak District, gorgeous views. Like just me and the lads just meeting the cars there. It's pretty cool.
Well, there was this one spot where you drive out a little bit outside of Swindon and go on top of this like hill, and you can see it across all of it, and that bit is quite nice, especially at night.
I do miss countryside. That's the one thing I do miss that from living in city centre. However, when I first got my car, I was really bad at reversing. I crashed the car twice. I reversed into a taxi after a night out, and it was just because me and my friends were in a one-way street, and they was like, none of us go back, and I was being cocky, so I just put it in reverse, ragged it fast behind, just smashed into a taxi. And then, luckily I hadn't drank, so I don't drink and drive. I hadn't drank a thing, so like I was coming from a house party, but I was a sober one. So that was annoying, that course. And then I reversed with my sister's car. So now any car that I buy, I make sure has a reverse camera. I know when I'm reversing. Like vans, I find vans hard to reverse.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be driving a van.
Vans are horrible to drive. You know, you got bare stock in it, and it's windy and the stock's blowing about. I remember when I picked up like 400 McQueens and the van was full of it, and like honestly the wind was just blowing them, and I was like, I'm gonna end up with about 50 grand loss here by riding this car off.
Yeah, it's just a big box on wheels though, isn't it?
And you can't see anything in the back. Yeah, I bet there's actually a few 17, 18-year-olds who are watching this, and I'm intrigued to know how they spend their evenings when they just pass the test, because that was a fun point in my life. And you're kind of carefree, you don't really have any bills, you're just fucking chilling, and like, do you know what I mean? My biggest focus was, right, how can I make an extra £100, £200 reselling, and then I just have shoes in the car, I'd go to Kerber Edge in the car, and I'd just be shouting to everyone, like no one would be leaving without buying a D-Square t-shirt off me for 60 quid. But what I did always do good pricing, so then it was kind of like, that is quite a good price, and then everyone would always be happy after, which is kind of what led me into making little margins, but being happy with customers, into what led me into, I guess, doing business-to-business distribution instead.
Yeah, fair. Well, when I got my Polo GTI, that thing was rapid. But I take that out on like the weekend.
That's small, isn't it?
Yeah,
small but quite a bit of power in it. Yeah.
So nippy. I would take that out, give it a good clean, and just give it and go take pictures of it. To be fair.
Yeah, I was never one of them who took pictures of my car. I should do. If I do get any pictures, I've took pictures of this one, but it'd only be me like, you know, stood next to it in a little Instagram thing. Did you have a private reg ever or not? Bro, this is the best. I paid £250 for my reg plate. So smart, but I get fined all the time because it's incorrectly gapped. So the police will see me, they'll think I'm a drug dealer. I'm like, no, I sell clothes money, which they know now. But then they'll fine me because the reg is gapped incorrectly, which is illegal. But it's only £100 fine.
I didn't know that was a thing. To be fair, bro.
You can't. It's meant to be P11 space UGC, but it doesn't replug, which is bad for marketing. Because I want people to see the reg and be like, oh, that kid who does a reseller. Yeah, which is a little bit annoying.
I thought I was a goner, place to your honor, burn marijuana.
So I kind of like actually spending days like this because I can't lie. Me and Tom, we filmed some sets the other way. We just fuck about and film some clips, ragging the car about for a bit. So I mean, my job does actually entail stuff like that, which is quite fun. Let me know what other degenerate stuff you'd like me to do because I could even bring a camera on a night out. On holidays, whatever, rather than just showing businessy stuff. We don't only sell clothing and do that stuff. Like, we are just sat here doing some random shit sometimes. We're just ragging it against an S3, which we didn't film because I didn't want to incriminate how bad of driving that guy was. He nearly killed a family of 4, which was, yeah, wild. Also, what should my next car be? I've had this car for nearly 2 years, which means I'm probably due something new. So I actually want to know, feed me back, drop me a personal message, drop a comment below, what should my next car be? I always said I wanted a Urus, but I don't know if I'm quite there yet. It'd probably take a bit of the budget away from the business. But I mean, imagine if we were doing content with a Lambo Urus, how much would that chop? More realistically, I've got a friend who's got like a 5.7 LT McLaren. Could probably afford one of them. I reckon the content would go off, but just like, how would we even fit any stock in the back anywhere? It'd be no longer me doing any content with stock. Yeah, comment below what car I should get within a realistic budget. I don't want to be spending more than $1,000 a month on a car. And it needs to be good for marketing too. Like, it needs to be a bright colour. It has to have the plug reg on it. I'd even debate putting a barcode on the side, mate. I generally would a barcode where it scans and then they start reselling from it. Imagine a barcode there. And it's like start reselling or build a business on the yellow plug car. Maybe this isn't a good enough car to do it with, but if it was a Urus, I definitely would do that. It'd just pay off for the car by starting reselling. Yeah, and then we'll probably need to do some more business bits soon. So yeah, let's do a little final rag and go from there.
Hotter than the sun, I met her at Salada. Bala baby Prada, she popped it for the dollar.